Hello, boyos. Say hello to the new mascot, Bladder. It's actually a she, but whatever. Quick one. Hope you had a nice Christmas. I'm actually recording this the week before Christmas, but this will probably go out after Christmas now, because I've got quite a lot lined up. Lots of stuff coming in. Subscribe, stay tuned for all that good stuff. Now, did you know? I'll put this in the background. Did you know that you can change the throw of the gear linkage on the 2020 plus, basically the Gen 3 SuperDuke cars? I didn't know you could do this until reading the manual. And some guys online on forums and stuff are basically saying that it's a very, very worthwhile mod change, you know what I mean? So basically you can change the throw of the lever so it doesn't take as much to kick up into gear, and I've heard that it's one of the must-do kind of things to the bike. Now over the months of owning the bike now, it's been 7 months I think I've had the bike, maybe 8 now. The QuickShifter is great, don't get me wrong, the QuickShifter is fantastic. However, through first and second it's quite long, and through to second to third it can be quite long as well. If you're not in the up in the RPMs, it can be quite jerky on this QuickShifter. So hopefully this might fix this. So it's a very, very quick fix. All you do is you change the gear linkage up. There's like a little screw in, basically. Really simple change. We'll go out and do it now, and we're going to go for a ride and see if it changes anything. So stay tuned. Oh no, the shed is leaking. The shed's leaking quite bad. Oh dear. Right, so the thing that we need to change basically is this guy here. If you see this, when we take this off, we'll have to move this out of the way, I think. But essentially, there's a different hole that this goes into a different position, and we're just going to change it to that. And then at some point in the future, we're going to change it to GP shift as well, see if that makes a difference. So I want to try GP shift, but not right now in these weathers. So again, take this out, move it up. That's it. So it is a T27. Thought it might be, and I'm not going to Loctite this yet. I'm literally just going to take it out, and it's 5 Newton meters of torque, so hand tight this is. We're going to be able to see this, but see that hole there? See this guy here? You move from the bottom one to the top one. Oh, 1 second, got a delivery. Mate, have a good Christmas, oh, there we go. That's another video for another day. Pull this forward a bit and then start screwing. That's what she said. A bit annoying. Once the thread catches, hopefully that will just sit in place. Just literally just hand tight. You don't want to do it any more than that, and then hopefully now that gives us a different throw, so that gives us a little, even though it's a little tiny bit of a difference, it shortens the distance between the gears. So hopefully we'll give this a go now. We're going to have a ride and see what happens. Right, let's try and do this without fucking slipping. Let this warm up for a bit. Yes, ice warning, I'm very aware, thank you. My pin lock for some reason has decided to, whenever it gets wet on the inside of my visor, it just mists up. I need to sort that out, but I just haven't had time. Yeah, my car parking space is completely frozen over, so I can't use that. Let me just see if I can get onto this without dropping the thing. It's going to be tough. Just getting the bike up right is tough enough. Oh, fuck me. Right, let's give this a go. Oh, fucking hell. Right. Jesus. Right, so I've got it in street mode just because, you know, less power and all that kind of stuff, but the traction control mainly. Now, putting it into first gear then, I'm out of breath. I can't breathe because of this stupid fucking suit. Oh, there we go. Just putting it into gear, it felt a lot shorter. It felt there's a lot less energy that you had to put into it before it would go down. So we're going to see if going up into second through the QuickShifter, first gear. Oh man, okay. Right, okay. Oh, I prefer that straight away. Straight away. Let me see about going down. That is so much nicer. Right, you have to try this out for yourselves, because that is amazing. There's nowhere near as much
It feels about half the travel that the lever goes down a gear, yeah, that is, and it feels a lot more responsive. It feels a lot more tactile. It feels like it goes in a lot quicker. Right, okay. Right, okay. That is a massive difference. That is a huge difference. But I can tell you already, everybody go and try this out, please. That is amazing. You know, you wouldn't think that moving a bolt such a small amount of space would make such a big difference, but that is, it makes the, wow, that's all I'm saying is wow. Yeah, the reason I've got it into this mode as well is because of the throttle response is a little easier to manage into second. That is so much nicer, even at the really, really low RPMs. Thank you. That is nice little winter wheelie for you. The thing still wheelies in street mode, don't get me wrong, this thing is still an absolute weapon. Oh, I mean, I saw the traction kick in then, but the traction's very, very aggressive there. So I can tell you immediately, you have to try this out. This fixes the QuickShifter for me. That is so good. Again, you wouldn't think that such a little thing could make such a big difference. And the roads today, they're not too bad, but the paths and stuff, they're still really, really, really bad. I fucking fell over yesterday. It was quite funny on the way back from the shops. Did you all know, by the way, that in Northwich, that is a whorehouse? It's like a brothel. They call that a spa, but in actual fact, all sorts of depravities are going on in there right now. And my pin lock's fogging up again. Jesus. It's just click, click, straight down. It's probably reduced the travel by about, probably a third or even a half. You see, the one thing apparently is it's really difficult to find neutral. So I had to go up into second and go back down, then it felt like the speed triple. Oh, and I have to put this visor up a bit because it's fogging up. Yeah, so we're going to have to see if finding neutral's a bit of a bitch, because I've got quite big clunky boots on. And yeah, just clicking it into first gear, it feels like it's only like 1.5 centimeters or so before it actually goes in, whereas beforehand it felt like quite a long amount. Now I'm not going to do my little hack up there because the side of the road is going to be awful, I bet. Right, boys, I'm sorry, but you have to go out and do this to your bike right now. That is so much, yeah, it's fixed the QuickShifter, because I'm basically, in the new year, I'm going to make a video of my top 5 likes and dislikes with the bike. They seem to do quite well on YouTube, but one of them was the QuickShifter. Also, it's handling really, really well with the drop tyre pressures. It does feel like a snick now, and not an actual big push. You know what I mean? Oh, that is so good. Obviously, you're not going to get to feel this at all because you're not riding the bike. But just take my word for it. It feels amazing. It feels really, really good. My pin lock is properly fogging up now on the inside. I've got all my vents open as well. Yeah, I can't see a fucking thing. This pin lock is shocking. That's fixed the QuickShifter. One of the points that I was going to pick up on. Oh, I'm going to have to open this up a little bit. In the review coming up, what I just said was the QuickShifter. It's very laggy. Like, it takes a while to push up into gear, and that has just fixed it completely. So that's off the list now. So public service announcement for everybody: if you've got a SuperDuke and you're having the same kind of issue, even if you're not, just try it out. All it is one bolt. Oh, that is so good. Yes, man. Because beforehand it felt like my ankle was kind of having to come quite a way up, and so I put the shifter quite far down in order to compensate, to give me more torque, or sort of an angular kind of force to get it up properly. That's what she said. Oh, see that then? That was the traction kicking in. It's quite aggressive, the traction control. Yeah, one of the biggest issues with this bike was, well, I say biggest, it was one of the issues with the bike really was the QuickShifter. Going into first gear, going from first to second gear, it was always a massive lurch, especially at lower RPMs. And I think now that that's because of the distance travelled in order to kill the motor. So obviously if you've got a further distance to push up, it takes, you know, your foot, your body, your brain, but also the bike time to actually do it, if that makes sense. Thank you. And now that is, I mean, there are parts where it's a little bit jerky, but it is nowhere near as bad as it was. And just into, it just doesn't take a lot at all to just to get it like, into first. It's just such a nice little snick into gear, and it reminds me of the Speed Triple a lot. Yep, there you go. It is slippy. Well, we'll look at the roads. Of course, it's slippy. There we go. Bit of traction. A little wheelie. Oh, geez, nearly lost it then. I hit a bit of snow. Cheers, mate. Yeah, it really low RPM, there's still a little bit of a jerk, but it's nothing compared to what it was, because beforehand it would literally lurch you backwards. But the Speed Triple 1200 that I had, if you don't know, I used to own one of them. A lot of issues with those before I ended up getting this bike, which is why I got this bike, coincidentally. That had the best QuickShifter that I'd ever used. And this is now rivaling it for that. But the problem with the Speed Triple is because of the stacked gearbox, you could never get it into neutral. Whoa! Yep, that back end wants to come out a lot. Even at slow speeds, going down to second, that has completely transformed the bike, that has. Hello. Oh, come on! Merry Christmas, dickhead, put your fucking foot down! For fuck's sake, man! Oh, that field looks nice. Look at all the snow on there. I can't see a fucking thing because I'm going 10 mile an hour because of this fucking Jap's eye. Oh my god, if you're gonna pull out, mate, you can put your fucking foot down. Jesus wept on a fucking knob end. Yeah. That is so good. Why is everyone going so slow? And I understand, right, people are going slow because of the weather, right, but the roads are wet and they've got salt all over them. People think they're going to be slipping about like a motherfucker. You've got 4 wheels, mate, come on. Everyone, I think, in this country should have a mandatory year on a bike just to see what the cars are actually capable of, you know what I mean? So one of the areas that the QuickShifter wasn't very good at on this bike in particular, and I think this is due to the emissions, the Euro emission stuff. But basically, if you kept it at a certain RPM and then went up a gear, it would jerk you back and forth because the fueling was off. Now that, you can still feel it, but it's nowhere near as fucking dangerous, because in my opinion that thing, like beforehand, it was dangerous. I'd be coming out of a corner and I'd go up a gear to come out of the corner, or go down a gear kind of thing, and the bike would just bash you back and forth because the engine cut off and the engine braking starts to take hold, and then yeah, that doesn't happen now. You can still feel it cut. There's a little bit of a delay, but it doesn't jerk you back and forth. And when you're up in the RPMs, it's magical. It works really, really well, the QuickShifter, but it doesn't have that inherent danger to it feeling wise anymore. Jesus Christ, some proper nunnies out on the road today, isn't there? Christ almighty, you don't need to brake that far ahead, man. Oh my fucking god. Right, so I've given it a little bit more of a test now. Get a little bit more time to settle in. Oh come on. And you know, conditions like this with people like this, you know, in front of me, going very fucking slowly, and I can say that the QuickShifter is behaving really, really well. But with slow village town stuff like this, it's behaving a hell of a lot more better than it used to. Go straight into second gear like that, you know, no hesitation, no nothing. It's very, very welcome on this thing, because beforehand it was a little bit tough to have to deal with. So yeah, big change. Highly recommend it. Go try it out. Well, that's been me, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe and all that nonsense.